This time we'll start our post-game press conference for our second quarterfinal game from the Sun Belt Conference Men's Basketball Championship. We're now joined by UL Lafayette head coach Bob Marlin, as well as student athletes number 0, Bryant Bamalu, and number 2, Alfred Payton. This time we'll ask Coach Marlin to please make an opening statement.
Tough basketball game, two teams that didn't want to go home, and we waited a long time to play this game. I ran out of things to talk about waiting before the game, and these guys are very anxious. And it's after midnight now, but both teams fought. I thought we shot the ball extremely well. We won the three-point game. Really did a good job on the glass in the second half and out-rebounded them. Sean stepped up, and after having 4 at the half, gets 13 the second half, had 5 blocks, and made a big contribution. Bryant was sensational tonight. I thought Xavier was very good for us. I thought Elridge Moore and Steve made big plays for us also. And then Alfred was saddled with 2 quick fouls. We toyed with putting him back in to keep his head in the game a little bit in the first half, and we were able to steal a couple of possessions with him. And having him on the floor is a calming effect for our team. So we wanted to make sure that he was engaged in the game, and our team had the lead going into half because they were making a push. They're a very good offensive team. They're hard to guard. They're small. They can shoot the ball. I thought we did a nice job on Dow, and he gets 25. So we'll take this one. I've coached against Scott many times, and he's an excellent coach and his staff, and they've had a great first year in our league.
This time we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes only. Please wait for the microphone before you ask your question and identify yourself by name and media outlet. Go to the front left.
Michelle Weiner, Sunbelt Digital Network. This question is for Alfred. Can you talk about what UTA did against you defensively to stop you or to try and slow you down?
They sat in the paint a lot, just trying to sag off, and I was able to get into the paint still a little bit and draw a couple defenders and kick out to my open teammates. My teammates was doing a good job knocking down shots, so I wasn't really worried about scoring tonight. They was able to get it going in the first half without me, and I just came in to try and keep the flow going and help my team in other ways. So.
And Bryant, how did you step your game up with Alfred in foul trouble?
Yeah, I mean, he's our best player, so between him and Sean, so we, I just wanted to be a senior leader and try to step up and be productive while he's out because we need to get it from somewhere. So trying to play my role.
We're going to move to the back right now.
Alfred, first off, Travis Webb, KATC. Alfred, for you guys, kind of with the foul trouble and also just knowing kind of during the course of this weekend you're going to need other contributions from guys like Bryant and Sean. How big was Zay's game just to come up and come with some big clutch shots?
It was extremely big. We needed those shots down the stretch because they was able to make a push at the end, and it really helped us, and it's going to help us confidence going into these next games because we're going to need everybody going down the stretch these next 2 games.
Bryant, for you, I know a lot of people kind of outside of Lafayette kind of think of just the Alfred and Sean show. Did tonight kind of show why you guys are so balanced and you can beat teams in a number of ways?
Yeah, I think so. Xavier stepped up and had a real good game. I stepped up and was able to do some things. I wouldn't say I was sensational like Coach said, but I was able to do some positive things here and there. And we got guys. Kevin knocked down a couple of threes, and Steve knocked down 1. So Hayward knocked down 1. So I mean, we're a pretty deep team. It's not just Alfred and Sean. I mean, yeah, they're our best players, but we got some pretty good pieces as well.
Going another one on the right side.
Dave Schultz, 103.7 from Lafayette. Bryant struggled the last couple of games, 14 points. You had 20 tonight. What was the difference?
Well, I mean, if the next time I lose, that's the end of my season. So, I mean, I just want to be aggressive and, I didn't want my season to end tonight. And the same with tomorrow and the next game, hopefully if we advance. But I just don't want my season to end, so I'm just going to try to be aggressive and help the team.
Another one from the back right.
Alfred, for you guys, kind of as Coach mentioned, with it being past midnight right now, and you turn around and play a 4:30 game. What's the key in between these next 16 hours of getting ready for what you know is a tough Western Kentucky team?
Just being mentally prepared, and a lot of rest and a lot of fluids. Pretty much, that's it.
Additional questions? Did we have one in the back left? You all set? Any further questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you very much, guys. You can head back to the locker room. We'll have someone to bring you back. We'll now open it up to questions for Coach Bob Marlin here in the front.
Hey, Coach. Gus Contreras, UTA Shorthorn. What's it like playing a team that you've beat twice during the regular season in a tournament scenario?
Well, it's an even, clean slate. I mean, the record's even, and Alfred had mentioned that to our team that we're starting over. It doesn't matter. We beat them twice. We beat them the first game without Dow. We played very well at home, and then the game at Arlington we played well early, and then they made a furious comeback, and the game really wasn't that close. But they're very explosive, so we know how capable they are. And I thought Edwards was great tonight. He had his best game against us all year, and Dow was good. McClanahan wasn't as effective. We were able to take some charges and get him in a little bit of foul trouble. So that was good. And then Outler was great too. I mean, their three guys and our three guys, they outscored our top three, I think 70-something to 60-something, but we outscored their bench, and that was the difference.
Got one on the right side now.
Dave Schultz, 1037. What was it like, before the first TV timeout that Alfred had 2 quick fouls?
Well, it's disappointing, Dave, but, it might be a blessing. He played 26 minutes, and we got to go in 15 hours. So that's the way I look at it. Sean played 31 minutes. I was glad that Alfred was able to get back in the first half and play with a couple of fouls. And he wasn't his normal self, but hopefully we'll get him back tomorrow where he's able to play the entire game and be more productive. I thought he was good, though. He had 6 assists, 1 turnover. We took good care of the basketball, and so did Arlington. This was an intense game, and both teams had single-digit turnovers.
Going all the way to the back right.
Coach, kind of as I mentioned to Bryant and Alfred, just how big is this for going forward? As you mentioned, just the bench stepping up and coming through with some real critical plays.
It's important to get a contribution from everyone. Steve hit a couple of shots, like the guys said, and Hayward was able to hit one. Kevin, we've been shooting the ball well in practice and had a great shooting practice this afternoon, and felt like that we would shoot the ball well. I didn't know we'd give up 50% from 3, and then we shoot 57. So.
And also for you guys, just the quick turnaround. What's the key, especially with game planning?
Well, it's kind of like we said earlier. It doesn't matter that a team's beat one. It's an even match now and a clean slate. So we felt like we could have won and should have won the game at Western Kentucky and last time out. So we'll be prepared tomorrow and know that it's a high-energy game. They've got the longest winning streak in conference tournament in the country. They've won 9 consecutive conference tournament games. They've been off for a week and a half. They didn't play their 2 guys at Georgia State. So we'll be ready. It'll be a good ball game. We're looking forward to the opportunity.
One more question in the back right.
Any surprise at how effectively you were offensively in the first half with Peyton on the bench for most of it, and then Sean joining him in foul trouble as well?
We did a good job, Dave. We had one stretch there where we didn't get a couple of good looks and missed some shots. Quick shot the ball a couple of times. But I thought J.J. made a great pass out of the post to the opposite corner and got us a 3. That was a big play. And he just checked in for that very reason. And that's what our guys are doing right now. They're playing to their roles. They know what their strengths are. And they're giving a great effort on both ends of the court. So we were good offensively at times, but the most important thing is we made shots. And we were able to get a little bit in transition and get some momentum plays.
Any additional questions for Coach? Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
We're now joined by UT Arlington head coach Scott Cross, as well as student athletes number 35, Brandon Edwards, and number 3, Jamel Eltler. Coach, if you could please start off with a brief opening statement.
This is always the toughest day of the year when your season ends. We were hoping to live to fight another day. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Thought our guys did compete. Got to give Lafayette a ton of credit. They shot the ball extremely well. Sean Long was incredible tonight. But our guys competed, and we played well offensively. We just weren't quite good enough defensively. Gave up too many and-ones. It's just one of those days. But my 4 seniors, I'm really proud of them, especially this guy beside me, Brandon Edwards. He's been part of the most successful 4-year period probably in the history of UT Arlington basketball, and he's a big reason for that success. And he battled tonight having a double-double, which he does pretty much every game, and just really proud of what he's done for the program.
We're going to start now with questions for the student athletes only. Do we have any questions? Up here in the front left.
This is Gus Contreras again, Shorthorn. What's going through your mind, Brandon, with the way the game played? And you had a pretty good game statistically, but just couldn't pull it out.
Basically, it was a tough loss for us. Never want your season to end like this. I really wish we could have played tomorrow, but just we got to brush it off and just got to focus on let the younger guys focus on next year and getting better next year.
Additional questions? Just go ahead and ask. Go ahead.
Grant from UTA Shorthorn. Looking back at the game now, it looks like you guys played it pretty much as well as you could have, but what was one thing you would change if you could go back?
I think me personally, I need to be more aggressive on the blocking out, on the rebounding end, on the defensive end. I think the communication was up and down in the game. Sometimes we was talking, sometimes we wasn't. So I think we just go back and be more consistent throughout the whole game.
Jamel, you've been on a hot streak these past 2 games. What has worked so well for you scoring the ball wise?
I was just out there playing my game. Teammates had confidence in me. I was just trying to get my seniors some more games. So, that was the only thing that was on my mind.
Further questions for the student athletes? Okay, we're good, guys. You guys can head back to the locker room. We have a couple people back there that'll bring you back, and we'll open it up for questions for head coach Scott Cross at this time. If you want.
Coach, basically the same question, but do you think that was as well as the team could have played against Lafayette tonight?
I think offensively we played really good. I thought we maybe could have done a better job taking it one more dribble and trying to get into Sean Long's body. It seemed like we were jumping way too early, and we were just, it was almost like a volleyball. We were just throwing it up and letting them spike it on us. I thought our guys should have took it one more dribble and tried to get in his body because he was sitting there in the center circle, and obviously that's why he had 5 blocks. And then defensively, that's been our Achilles heel pretty much all year long. Guys just aren't active enough. We don't move around. We don't have enough intensity, enough communication. The teams that I've coached the last few years have been great defensively. This is the first team that's really struggled, and we hadn't changed anything. It's the same scheme. It's the same system. It's just guys aren't quite as active. So, I wish that was different, but a lot of times with this team, if we're hitting shots, we're a little bit better defensively. If we start struggling at times throughout the game, then we drop a lot defensively. And there were those, 4 or 5 minute windows in the first and second half where we really dropped our intensity.
Moving here to the front.
Coach, Lonnie had 2 good games against Lafayette, and tonight he was out with foul trouble most of the night. What was it like not having him out on the court, being able to penetrate?
Yeah, he could have helped us. He got called for those charges. Charges are such a momentum shift. Obviously, as a coach, you think everyone's a block, and the other coach probably thinks everyone is a charge. But he's got to do a better job of coming to a jump stop and finding an open guy. He just went in there and ran the guys over, and it's a turnover on his part, it's a foul on his part, it's their ball, and it's a big momentum shift, and I think that kind of got him out of rhythm. And then he picked up a couple of other tic-tac fouls here and there, and next thing you know, he's fouled out. So he did have a lot of success, especially down there at their place. He was so good driving the basketball. I think he did a little bit better job of rejecting our flat ball screens. Tonight it seemed like he would go to the side of where their hedge defender was, whereas in our first game he was able to go in and out and go back in the other direction, and he was a lot more effective and able to turn the corner. He wasn't really able to turn the corner, and you got to give them credit for their defense on that.
Coach, with Lafayette being a team that can score in a hurry and going up big in that first half, what did you tell the guys to keep them focused and keep them into the game?
Well, we've been through it. In the second game we played them, they were up 40-15, and we came back and we had an opportunity to tie the game at the end of the game. And we told them that before the game, hey, they're top 8 in the country in terms of scoring. They're going to go on some runs. You guys just have to keep plowing away and keep fighting and clawing, and you'll have an opportunity if we get some stops to where we'll be able to score and transition ourselves. And luckily they did stay focused. We never got down like we did in the first and second game, but we just didn't do enough to come out on top.
Coach, what was it like having to start the game so late due to the other game going late?
I mean, my heart was pounding for those guys, the other team just watching it. I was getting anxious watching the game, but I mean, both teams had the same thing, so you can't make an excuse that affected us. In fact, both teams shot the ball great. I mean, I think we both shot it about as good as either team could have possibly shot it, so it didn't affect us there at all. It was one of the best basketball games I've seen, and that's what I was telling our guys is every single possession matters. I mean, 4 overtimes. I mean, any number of possessions could have won that basketball game during regulation or any of the overtimes, and that's how you have to treat it if you want to win a championship.
We have time for one last one.
Coach, this being your first year in the Sun Belt and going to the quarterfinals, what can you take from this experience that you can use to move forward?
I think our guys just have to realize how good the league is, and we have to work even harder between now and next year, and we have to be prepared because a team like Lafayette, they have a ton of guys that are returning. They're a very young basketball team, so they're going to be even better next year. So we have to really step it up so we can compete for a championship next year.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.